MFFLs. It's been a long 11 years, but the Dallas Mavericks have finally won a playoff series. And if you're as hyped as I am, as producer Coop is, spam MFFL in the comments, Mavs fan for life, because it's been a long decade plus. But hey, last time they won a playoff series, we know what happened after that. We'll recap the Jazz series, including the closeout Game 6, plus take a look at Phoenix in the second round. That's all coming up here on Dallas Mavericks Today. Welcome into Mavs Today by Chat Sports. Harrison Graham here, and I am fired up here on a Friday. We're doing NFL draft coverage at Chat Sports, but I said, you know what? The Mavs won a playoff series. I'm doing a damn video because they beat the Jazz 98-96 to advance to the second round, and this was a back alley just brawler like a lot of these games were in this series, and give the Mavs a lot of credit. They were down 53-41 at the halftime, 3 for 18 from three-point range at one point in this half, and they just were resilient as hell. This game were these two teams in a nutshell this year. The Jazz can't close games. The Mavs come back in games, and that's how this one played out. Bojan Bogdanovic had a good look at a three to force a Game 7, but he hit it off the back rim, and the Mavs were able to win it 98-96. Let's be honest. Had Luka Doncic not missed 3 games, this is probably a 5-game series. But at the end of the day, the Mavs prevailed. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how you get it done. Had a couple bounces go your way last night, but hey, you're on the road. You get a win, second win on the road in this series, by the way, in a place you hadn't won since 2016. That's nice as well, and those are things you can learn from and build for as you move forward to the Phoenix Suns, a team that you've lost to 9 times in a row. This is the first step. This playoff series is huge, not just for this year, but really for this era of Mavericks basketball with Luka Doncic. How many times have we talked about? They don't start winning a playoff series, like Luka's going to request a trade. This goes a long way. Gets the monkey off their back, which is something Jason Kidd talked about. Luka Doncic feels good about kind of taking that next step. Even if you lose in the next round, you don't want to get swept. But if you lose in 5 or 6, this is a successful season now. Let's see what you got against Phoenix. You're going to play to win, obviously, but this series win will go a long way for the future for this team. Now, Jalen Brunson, tremendous, absolutely tremendous in round 1, averaged 28 points, almost 5 boards, over 4 assists, shot the ball well from outside. The Mavs don't win this series without him. He carried them through the first 3 games to lead Dallas to a 2-1 lead. Luka Doncic gets back and helps close the thing out, but his 41-point performance in Game 2 to kind of level this series. Remember, Dallas was down a game and down 10-plus in that second game. Like, this could have gone awry. Like, they could have been down 2-0 going back to Utah. JB goes off in that second game, kind of calmed the waters a little bit, and he was tremendous without and with Luka. Luka obviously came back and averaged a cool 29 and 11 and 6. But these two guys, moving forward, these are the guys that are going to carry this team, especially offensively, heading into this series against the Phoenix Suns. They were tremendous, and that's why they were able to beat the Utah Jazz. All right, coming up, Mavs versus Suns preview, as we're going to take a look at what some keys to victory are and how Dallas is going to be able to take down Phoenix in the second round. We'll take a look at each team's path to get here and break down some key matchups. But before we do that, who you got? Type DAL for the Mavericks, type PHX for the Phoenix Suns. Look, I'd be lying if I'd say the Mavericks are favored, but I think they have a chance. If you got my way too early prediction, I'd probably take Phoenix in 6. That's just me keeping it real. But, look, when you have Luka Doncic, you always have a chance. So DAL for the Mavs, PHX for the Phoenix Suns. If you want to go bet on this second-round playoff series, there's only one place to do it. That's with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, which allows you to go bet on every game in the NBA playoffs. Get an account started today with that link below, chatsports.com/MFFL. Promo code is MFFL. Mavs to win the series, plus 260. So not crazy odds, but pretty long odds if we're being honest. Phoenix is a healthy favorite, especially now that Devin Booker is back. Chatsports.com/MFFL. Promo code MFFL. I will say plus 260, throw a little tenner on there. that's a decent little return if the Mavs were able to win this series. All right, round 2 of the playoffs. Stage is set. Mavs, Suns. Suns obviously will have home court in games 1 and 2, 5, and game 7 if it goes that far. Dallas going to need to bring their A game if they want to have a chance to win this series. Game 1 on Monday, May 2nd, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central. I don't want to promise, but I want to say we're about 90% committed to doing a Game 1 watch party. So, hey, subscribe to the video. We get more subs. We'll probably do that for you. We don't want to guarantee it, but I think we're going to do that on Monday night. Phoenix is a 6-point favorite in this opening game. Now, they were able to also close out their series in 6 games last night, and quite frankly, if Chris Paul wasn't literally perfect, the Pelicans probably forced a Game 7. They played really well in this game, but they lost 115 to 109. Guys, Chris Paul went 14 of 14 from the field in this game. Unbelievable. Devin Booker came back, wasn't super effective, but he's working his way back. DeAndre Ayton had 22 and 7 as well, but Chris Paul's 33, 5, and 8 were just unbelievable as they were able to close that series out, and obviously he's still looking for his first ring. Look, this will be a hard series for Dallas to win. This is a team that in Phoenix that has given the Mavs trouble even before they were good in the last couple of years. Dallas has had trouble to beat them. It's been 9 straight losses. Now, I do want to say this. In the 3 games this year, all have been close. The first 2, no Luka Doncic or Maxi Kleber, and they still fought them close. Third one, everyone was there, and the Suns actually didn't have Ayton, and they still lost that game. But they had a 5+ point victory heading into the 4th, and I believe all 3 of the matchups. And I will say this, Dallas is a different team than they were in January when they last played Phoenix. Dallas has become one of the more clutcher teams in the NBA. Obviously, they made the trade for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, and I should mention this, Dinwiddie playing well in that Game 6 closeout, 7 for 12 from the field, 4 of 7 for 3. You hope that bodes well and carries over. You're going to need him to play well. But a lot of things have changed since those 3 losses earlier in the year. So that doesn't mean they're going to win all of a sudden, but I think this is a different team than from 3 months ago. Now, who needs to step up most versus Phoenix? I think Spencer Dinwiddie, a guy I just said, could be an X factor in this series. I think we're all pretty confident that Luka's going to get his, JB's going to do his thing. Who can be that consistent third guy? Obviously, Dorian's going to have to, put in work on the defensive end, as will Reggie Bullock. Can Spencer Dinwiddie average, let's say, an efficient 15 points per game in this series? If you get that, I think that would go a very, very long way. All right, some 3 keys to victory for the Mavs to pull off the upset in this series. I think this is a big one. You can't let DeAndre Ayton dominate. Not just on the glass, but as a defensive anchor, offensively. The thing about Rudy Gobert in the last round is, he dominated on the glass, but he wasn't ever going to crush the Mavs for 25 points. Like that's just not what he does. Ayton can do that. He doesn't do it a lot. He's more of like a 16 to 18-point guy, but I think if I'm Phoenix, I'm saying, okay, Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber, decent defenders, but Ayton's got 2-3 inches on him. He's bigger than both of them. Phoenix, he could average 25 in this series. You got to find a way to not let him do that, even if you have to bring in some double teams. Key number 2, Luka's got to be the best player in this series. Period. End of story. And quite frankly, he is the best player out of the 2 teams, but he has to play like it throughout the best of 7 games. Can't let Chris Paul, determine the tempo of this game. Luka needs to play at his own speed. He needs to control these games for Dallas to have a chance. He's got to do that 4 out of 7 times. We'll see if he's able to pull it off. And then I think number 3, you got to find a way to split your first 2. This is a team that's lost 9 in a row to Phoenix. You figure, the law of averages, right? Something's got to give. You're not going to lose 11 in a row, right? So find a way to steal one of these first 2, get into this series. What's the old saying? A series doesn't start until a road team wins. So if Dallas can do that, get home court, come back to what will be an absolutely electric American Airlines Center. I was at Game 5 against the Jazz, and it was awesome. Get a split, come back home. Friday night, for Game 3, let's freaking ride. That building is going to be popping. So get a split in the first 2, and let's really get into this series. All right, what's your key to victory for Dallas? Those are my 3 keys. The obvious, cliche one is Luka's got to, be the MVP of this series. I think we all know that. But feel free to get that in there. Maybe, get some X Factor keys in there as well, and we'll see what happens. All right, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Wanted to sneak in some NBA talk during a hectic NFL draft because, hey, that's what we MFFLs do, baby. When the Mavs are balling out, we bring you coverage. YouTube.com/MavsTV. Subscribe. Remember, really good chance of a watch party on Monday night. If you sub, a better chance that happens. Hopefully, we will see you guys then.